Donald Trump. Former President Donald Trump was injured in an assassination attempt when a gunman opened fire at his campaign rally, killing one spectator and bloodying Trump's ear. The shooter, who appeared to take an elevated position on a rooftop outside the venue, is dead. Another 2 spectators were critically injured. Trump's campaign said he was safe. FBI Special Agent Kevin Royek said during a midnight press conference that law enforcement is not prepared to identify the suspected shooter yet. Royek said investigators have not yet identified a motive. In a harrowing and chaotic scene, Trump was about 6 minutes into his remarks in western Pennsylvania when pops of gunfire rang out. The Republican presidential contender grabbed his right ear and then got to the floor, where he was immediately swarmed by Secret Service agents who piled on top of him to protect him. The agents then helped Trump to his feet, surrounded him, and rushed him off stage and to a waiting vehicle. Trump, with blood on the side of his head and his ear, repeatedly pumped his fist in the air and waved as the crowd cheered. George W. Bush. George W. Bush was giving a speech in Freedom Square, Tbilisi, during his visit to the Republic of Georgia. This was part of a tour to promote democracy and strengthen ties with former Soviet states. During the speech, a man named Vladimir Arutyunian threw a live hand grenade towards the podium where President Bush and Georgian President Mikhail Saakashvili were standing. The grenade, identified as a Soviet-made RGD-5, was wrapped in a red handkerchief. It was thrown into the crowd, landing about 20 meters, 65 feet, from the stage. The grenade did not explode because a piece of the handkerchief was blocking the firing pin, preventing it from detonating. The failed assassination attempt underscored the persistent threats against high-profile figures like the President of the United States. It also demonstrated the importance of vigilance and the effectiveness of security protocols in protecting leaders from potential harm. Bill Clinton. The attempted assassination of Bill Clinton was a pivotal event that unfolded on October 29, 1994, in Washington, D.C. The perpetrator, Francisco Martin Duran, fired multiple rounds from a semi-automatic rifle toward the White House. Despite firing 29 shots, Duran failed to hit President Clinton or anyone else in the vicinity. Secret Service agents quickly apprehended Duran, who was later convicted of attempted assassination and received a lengthy prison sentence. This incident raised serious concerns about the security protocols surrounding high-profile political figures and prompted a review of safety measures. It also sparked discussions about the motivations behind such acts of violence and the broader implications for national security. Bill Clinton, known for his presidency from 1993 to 2001, continued to serve his term amidst heightened security measures following the assassination attempt. The event underscored the ongoing risks faced by public figures and the critical role of security agencies in protecting them from potential threats. Ronald Reagan. The assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan, the 40th President of the United States, occurred on March 30, 1981. During an event outside the Washington Hilton Hotel, Reagan was shot and injured by John Hinckley Jr. The incident unfolded as Reagan was leaving a speaking engagement, and Hinckley opened fire in an attempt to impress actress Jodie Foster, whom he had been fixated on. Fortunately, despite being hit, Reagan's injuries were not life-threatening, though his press secretary, James Brady, suffered severe injuries. The assassination attempt had a profound impact on Reagan's presidency and led to increased security measures for future presidents. It also brought attention to issues surrounding mental health and gun control laws in the United States. The event underscored the vulnerability of public figures and the need for enhanced security protocols to protect political leaders. Reagan's recovery and return to office reinforced his image as a resilient leader in American history. Jimmy Carter. The attempted assassination on Jimmy Carter, the 39th President of the United States, represents a critical event in American history. On May 5, 1979, during his presidency, Carter was scheduled to give a speech at the Civic Center Mall in Los Angeles. As he was making his way through the crowded streets, shots were fired towards his motorcade from a nearby building. Fortunately, Carter escaped unharmed, but the incident highlighted serious security vulnerabilities and raised concerns about the safety of public officials. The failed assassination attempt on Jimmy Carter underscored the risks faced by political leaders and prompted a reassessment of security protocols for presidential movements and public appearances. It also triggered a nationwide debate on gun control laws and the balance between protecting public figures and preserving civil liberties. Ultimately, the event left a lasting impact on Carter's presidency and the broader American consciousness, reinforcing the need for robust security measures to protect elected officials from potential threats. Gerald Ford. The assassination attempt on Gerald Ford, the 38th President of the United States, occurred on two separate occasions in 1975. The first attempt took place in Sacramento, California, on September 5, 1975, when Lynette Squeaky Fromm, a follower of Charles Manson, aimed to shoot Ford but was restrained by Secret Service agents before firing a shot. The second attempt occurred on September 22, 1975, in San Francisco, California, when Sarah Jane Moore, another would-be assassin, fired a shot at Ford but missed due to a bystander deflecting her aim. Both Fromm and Moore were apprehended and later sentenced to prison. These events highlighted significant security concerns and led to enhanced security measures for protecting U.S. presidents and other high-profile figures. Gerald Ford's calm demeanor during these incidents and the swift actions of the Secret Service contributed to preventing tragedy and underscored the risks associated with public service at the highest levels. Richard Nixon. The attempted assassination on Richard Nixon, the 37th President of the United States, represents a significant moment in American history. On February 22, 1974, Samuel Byck attempted to hijack a plane with the intention of crashing it into the White House, aiming to kill Nixon. Byck's plan was thwarted when he was unable to gain control of the aircraft, leading to a tragic outcome where Byck killed the pilot and co-pilot before taking his own life. This event, known as the White House hijacking attempt, highlighted the security vulnerabilities surrounding high-profile government officials during that era. It sparked a reassessment of security protocols and measures to protect the president and other key figures in the U.S. government. The incident also raised awareness about the potential threats posed by individuals with extremist ideologies and the need for enhanced security measures to prevent similar attacks in the future. Richard Nixon himself was not directly harmed in this attempt, but the event left a lasting impact on the nation's security policies and perceptions of presidential safety. Harry S. Truman. The attempted assassination of Harry S. Truman, the 33rd President of the United States, occurred on November 1, 1950. Two Puerto Rican nationalists, Oscar Collazo and Gracilio Terresela, sought to assassinate Truman at the Blair House in Washington, D.C., where he was residing during renovations at the White House. The assailants managed to shoot and kill a White House police officer, Leslie Garfield, during their attempt to storm the residence. Despite their efforts, Truman was unharmed, as Secret Service agents and other officers promptly returned fire, killing Terresela and seriously wounding Collazo. This event highlighted the dangers faced by U.S. presidents and the importance of robust security measures. Truman himself expressed regret over Garfield's death and commended his bravery. The failed assassination attempt led to increased security protocols for protecting the president and reinforced the Secret Service's role in safeguarding national leaders. It remains a significant historical event, underscoring the risks associated with public office and the vigilance required to protect elected officials. Franklin D. Roosevelt. The attempted assassination of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, is a significant historical event that occurred on February 15, 1933, in Miami, Florida. While Roosevelt was delivering a speech from the back of an open car, Giuseppe Zongara, an Italian immigrant, fired multiple shots at him. Fortunately, none of the bullets hit Roosevelt directly, but they did injure several bystanders. Zongara was quickly apprehended and later confessed to wanting to kill any president, regardless of their identity. This event highlighted the security vulnerabilities faced by public officials and led to increased protection measures for presidents and other high-profile figures. It also underscored the challenges of ensuring the safety of leaders amidst political tensions and social unrest. Despite the attempt, Roosevelt continued to serve as president until his death in 1945, leaving a lasting legacy on American politics and policy through his New Deal initiatives and leadership during World War II. Theodore Roosevelt. The attempted assassination of Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States, is a significant event in American history. On October 14, 1912, during a campaign speech in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Roosevelt was shot in the chest by John Flaming Schrank, an unemployed saloon keeper. However, Roosevelt's life was saved by a folded 50-page speech and his eyeglasses case that slowed the bullet's impact. Despite being wounded, Roosevelt insisted on continuing his speech, showing remarkable resilience and courage. He assured the crowd that he was not seriously injured and spoke for nearly an hour before seeking medical attention. This event highlighted Roosevelt's steadfast character and dedication to his political ideals, earning him admiration and respect across the nation. Schrank, who later claimed he was motivated by a dream in which William McKinley, Roosevelt's predecessor who was assassinated, urged him to protect the country from a third term by any president, was found mentally incompetent and committed to an asylum.